Hey there folks, it's Jimmy Stewart here, hoping this is finding you all doing well. Today's video, we're going to go back, viewer requested again, because some of the viewers kept asking me, Jimmy, show us some things on your blues guitar playing. And again, I want to point out that I am not a guitar teacher. Lots of people online on YouTube that are much more qualified than I am. However, like I agreed to do with a few of the requests, is to show you some of the things that I do, maybe help you out a little bit. And on blues guitar playing, which is kind of what I do, I'm going to show you some of the things that might help you get your blues guitar playing better. Well, let's hope anyway. So I'm going to use the I-tap here. It's just because it's here and I've been playing it recently. And you know, you can do this on an acoustic guitar, you can do it on an electric guitar, whatever guitar you have. Let's talk about some of the things I'm going to describe today, and I'm going to try to show you in detail maybe better ways to do it, or maybe even if you're a beginner, how to do it. So a few of the things that are used in blues guitar a lot, and to get that bluesy sound, you want to have the mastery, or at least the idea of what's going on with hammer-ons. That's one. Pull-offs, which is basically a hammer off, but it's a pull-off, which is 2. A bend, which is 3. A little bit of vibrato in your hand, which is 4. And some sliding, not slide guitar, but sliding, in, which kind of like a hammering to a note or off a note, which would be basically 5. So if you're looking at a hammer-on, let me turn my amp on here so you can hear this, and I'll try to do something clean for you here. And we're going to use the key of A today, folks. An A doesn't really make a difference how you play it. If you like to play it on the bar, or down here, cowboy A as they call it, or if you even use 3 fingers, you know. I don't. I just bar it, or I play it up here. And an A chord. Again, if you want to play it up on a bar, you're looking at the 5th fret barred, okay. And then kind of an E position. I call it the chair, because if you look at it from the angle, it looks like the back of a chair with the 2 legs sticking out. So basically that. Right, barred. And so that starts at the 5th. So I'm going to be playing around between the 5th and the 7th, maybe grabbing the 9th, but I'll try to keep it as simple as I can, okay? So basically your hammer-on, what you're looking to do is you're going to pluck one note with your right hand, your picking hand, and you're going to go from one note to the next without actually picking the note. So what you're doing is for instance, if I'm going to hammer up to an A, I'm going to start on a G on the D string and go. Simple as that. That's a hammer-on. Okay? I'm picking it once, and I'm hammering up to that A note. And you can do that on any string, really. I'm just showing you an example in A. If you wanted to drop down to a G on the E string, do the same thing on the E string. Okay, you can pick it anywhere. But hammer-ons are basically that. And a trill is the same thing as a hammer-on, except it's faster. So for instance, I'm hammering up to from the G to the A note on the D string. And if I wanted to continue, I would continue. So I'm just doing hammerings. And the faster I do it, comes a trill. Right? A pull-off is basically the same thing, except you're pulling off the note. So if I'm starting on the A, I'm pulling down to that G note, or hammering up. Pretty simple. And you can do it on any string. If you do it on your G, and then what I'm adding at the end, and I know a lot of guitars, you see a lot of guitar players when they'll play, they'll go, and they'll shake their whole guitar. Whatever trips your trigger. I don't do that. I use my hand. So you can hear that trill, that vibrato. I'm doing it by just bending my hand a little bit. B.B. King was great at that. Those notes, those single note leads. You know, that he always had that vibrato going on. You can go crazy. But that's what I do. A little bit of vibrato. So you had hammer-ons, pull-offs, a little vibrato. Now a slide note is kind of similar to a hammer-on, except you're sliding up and you're using the neck. See it? And I'm starting here on the D, and I'm sliding up to an E. And I'm adding a little vibrato at the end. Same thing with a pull-off, except you're sliding down. So here's a little lick we'll start with today, and I'll try to show you in the up close a couple of the examples of this, and I'll bring the camera up so you can see what I'm doing. But something I use quite a bit when, you know, if I'm playing a blues track in A, I'll play that little lick there. And what I'm doing is I'm coming down from an E on the B string, on the G string I should say, E to the D to the C to the A on the D string. So I'm starting on the B string, E, D, C, and A, except I'm doing it in a fluid motion using hammer-ons and slides, so that I'm only picking the guitar, I'm only picking my strings probably, let me see what I'm actually, I'm picking it once. Or you can do that with a bend. So if you start with the bend and you bend up from that D to the E, there it is, right? And then I'm coming down. So I'm starting, and I'm coming down to the D, to the C, hammering down to the A instead of sliding it or hammering it. Okay, so that's a cute little lick to do, and again I'll show you in the up close how to do that. But again, you could either slide it down with your hammers and pull-offs, or you can bend it, and then to go to your lower strings, you can use something like this, again starting on the root note, which is an A. A, G, E, D, C, and then coming and sliding back up to the A root note to resolve the lick. Billy Gibbons does that quite a bit. He does, you know, those little slides up. Nice. But the whole idea is to be able to hammer and pull off and trill and vibrato those particular items into that little lick to give it that bluesy sound. And you can play that last note because, you know, you want to be continuing, so rather than hammer that last note, you can actually pick it. Then you move on to something else. But if you're just playing that note as a fill, it's nice to hammer it. You don't have to play with this hand. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4 notes by using the pick one time. And obviously hammer-ons and pull-offs and slides are much faster. So for me to pick that, I can't do it as fast. Then try to pick that. get much more speed in it. Again, I'm using 2 strings there. And coming back, or you can come back, resolve with a power chord, or any of those combinations you can do. And the box I consider of A, which is basically these 3 frets and then up and down. So hammer-ons, pull-offs, trills, right, slides, tend to use the middle finger for most slides if I'm playing on that G or D string, because it gives me my other 2 fingers, well actually 3 fingers, but my little finger is not in the best of shape. That happened in 2010, by the way. I don't know what happened there, but that prevented me from playing guitar for a couple of years. And you can see how much reach I lost on that finger, because that's as straight as it can possibly be now. It was like that, which was weird. Just woke up one morning, that's the way it was. I guess from years of playing or something, I don't know. I was riding motorcycles back then and what have you, so I don't know. But it ended up freezing into sticking out. I couldn't wear a glove or anything. It was stuck out like that, so I went to a hand specialist and had a couple of operations, and then I had about 8 months of therapy, you know, to get my hand back and all that, and it took a while. A couple of years I didn't play at all. And I've had to readjust my playing because I cannot reach. I can reach, but I can't reach the big long stretches like I used to be able to do. So I've had to adjust a little bit. But anyway, if your little finger is in great shape, you can reach a lot more than I can. So I used to be able to do that and do those kind of things using my little finger, but now I've shifted over to my whatever that finger is. I still use my little where I can. But anyway, let's get back to this. So hammer-ons, pull-offs, trills, slides, and I'm hammering and sliding. Right? Vibrato and your bends. People ask about bends. They say, you know, should you bend up? Should you bend down? Well, you can bend any way you want. However, if you're in the middle strings, like the G and D string, you kind of can go both ways. As you get to your lower strings, you kind of want to bend them towards the floor because that gives you more room to bend. If you bend this way, you're going to go right off the fretboard. And the same thing with the high strings. You want to bend them up because if you bend it this way, you're going to go off the fretboard. So let's take a close look at those 2 licks. This one basically here. It's hammer-on, pull-off, slides, and a little bit of vibrato at the end. And then this one. And I'll give you an up-close look at how to play those. Let's take a look. So your simple basic hammer-on is starting on any note, but we're going to be playing an A. So we're going to start down here on the G on the D string and then hammer up to an A. So we're going. So that's the basic hammer-on. You can do it anywhere on any string. And then, of course, your pull-off is starting on that note, plucking it once, and then pulling off to a different note. So I'm starting here on the C on the high E string. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the 8th fret, and I'm pulling off to the 5th. Same thing on the B string. Then when I get to that G string, I'm pulling from the 7th to the 5th fret on the G string. So. I just did those all with hammers. Here's my other hand here. So if you start it with a pick, or you can do it starting with a bend and then bending down to the note. So all I'm doing is I'm bending up on the G string up to this E note. So you can take those things or see it? And just hammering down. So that whole thing right there is one pick of the pick. And let me try to back up a little bit and I can show you. I'm picking one time. I'm picking once. And I'm getting 4 notes. Same thing. Picking once and hammering up to the A, going down to the G and to the E. You can slide down and then back up to your A. All these in the key of A. So I'm just going to do a quick little loop. Little loop in A. Hammer on, hammer off, hammer on, pull off. Again, that starts on the A. So A, G, E, D, C. And then sliding back up and hammering on the A. So the A and G on the D string, which is a pull-off. Then I'm hammering E and D, sliding down to the C, then sliding up to the A on the D string. You can either play the A or you can hammer the A. And then you do it with a little bit of palm mute, like I'm doing here, and watch. Or you can ring it out. Or palm mute. And then again, this one. Or. And you combine them together. It's hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, trills, bends, and you get all 3 or 4 of those particular playing pieces together. It gives you a much more bluesy sound, and of course your little vibrato. See, I'm not using this hand, I'm just and there I'm just hammering down from the A to the G to the E. So but you can use a little piece of it if you don't want to go all the way down. You can do all those kinds of things in any key. I'm using A here because it's sort of in the middle of the guitar. It's easier for me to record it like that. But if you're up here on the E, you can do the same thing. See? Same. Except in the key of A. Now we're up in the key of E. So you can do that on any key. See? So just finding the keys that you want to play in. You know, if you're in A, you're find your A by using your bottom string, and you go up to your 5th fret, and that's your A. Then on the 7th fret is your A on the D string, and then on the E string on your 5th fret is also an A. And then you can play that by bending. Again, I'm taking the B string and I'm bending up a whole note to the A. So I'm starting on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th fret, and I'm bending up to the 10th fret. It's a whole step. Again, hammering. That's all hammering. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out a little bit. Show you with a backtrack here. Same thing with the bend. So you can see that what I was trying to do is incorporate some of those things I was trying to teach you there, those little in the key of A. I was just trying to incorporate some of that to show you how it would play out if you were rehearsing, jamming, or even with a full band, doing a little blues thing in A. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit, and you can incorporate that stuff into any key, of course. That was an A, or A major. We did a little thing in A minor. Again, all you're doing is changing the scale itself. So, and again, I did that on an acoustic electric to show you that even with a higher gauge string, something even on an acoustic, that can be done. Let me grab my Godin for a second. I won't plug this in, I'll just show you this, that it can be done. This is even a heavier gauge string. These are 11s or 12s, I believe, on here. A little hard to bend, but you can still do that little slide piece, the hammer-ons, hammer-offs, or pull-offs, trills, slides. So if you get an acoustic to practice on an acoustic, and then when you get to an electric with a lighter set of strings, it'll be much easier for you. Build that hand strength up. Okay? So folks, I hope that helps out a little bit. Obviously, one of the things you gotta have to do when you're doing that blues is you gotta have some slippers on. Don't forget that, okay? Make sure your feet are comfortable. Have some slippers. And again, practice makes perfect. Sometimes. I've been practicing for over 50 years and I'm nowhere close to perfect. But give it a try. Try out some of those things I talked about. Basically the 5 to 6 little pieces of blues playing that you want to do. You want to be able to hammer on, you want to be able to pull off, you want to be able to add some vibrato, you want to be able to do some sliding, you want to be able to do a little bit of hand muting and cupping, some trilling, so that's 6 I guess, those types of things. So if it was interesting to you, if you learned anything, or if I helped you out at all, please let me know here in the comments. If you'd like to see me do some more of that, I'd be more than happy to help you out as much as I possibly can. Again, I want to do the disclaimer that I'm not a guitar teacher, so I'm just trying to give you some of the tips and things that I do to maybe help you out in your blues guitar playing. So folks, until next time, it's Jimmy Stewart saying so long. Take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And for all you subscribers that have come over to the channel, thank you. I really do appreciate it. If you're still on the fence, come on over to the good side. Would love to have you on board. Okay, folks? So until next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk to you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye for now.